Hey everyone, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera. Here today on the channel, we're back with episode 15 of our Mauryan Empire Indian series. Here today, we're going to be declaring war upon the warlike warrior society, the renowned Sparta. So, if you'd like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. Here we go. The Indian Empire facing the Spartans. Who's gonna win? Find out. But yeah, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And comment for the algo. You know the jam. Alright, so Athens crushed in the last episode. The beacon of democracy in the Greek peninsula has fallen. This is what we currently control. 100 turns in. Okay, so just going to negotiate with the Armenians here because they're in a really strong spot. They kind of like us, but we haven't got any relations. Ptolemy's ambivalent. Rome is an interesting spot. They've taken some Illyrian territory, but they've been a little bit landlocked, I guess. Okay, so thankfully for me, it looks like Sparta during the end turn phase has actually moved out towards Athens. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we trespassed when we ran down the last of the Athenians. So they do have another army back. So that's going to be better than fighting within Sparta itself. Although Sparta doesn't have walls, still dealing with the garrison would be annoying. So we're going to straight up war deck them. They're not at war with anyone, which is a shame. They do have 4 units of legendary Spartan warriors, and we really haven't replenished that well after that Athenian conquest. Although we've conquered the Greek peninsula here, it's come at a massive cost. We've lost upwards of nearly 15,000 infantry soldiers, which is definitely a massive toll for this conflict. So if we're going strictly on manpower, we could be doing better. But anyway, we're going to be able to bounce them here, and God Emperor Ashoka is going to have another glorious victory, you would hope. So let's play this one. An interesting army build they're fielding for a Spartan army. Okay, so let's get stuck into this one. Foggy, can we get a clear day? Taking a little bit to load. Okay, let's start the deployment. Ooh, interesting. So as we load on in initially, the topography of this battle map is incredibly conducive to the Spartans. They've taken the high ground. I see. Alright, so they have 4 units of like decent hoplite units. Spartan warriors. The general's bodyguard is going to be busted, so that's something we have to watch out and target for. Now, interestingly enough, we've got so much reinforcements coming in, but Ashoka's main army now, because the ethnic Indian units have been crushed, the Persian corps has been taken out, the Arabian. Now we're actually fighting with ethnic Greek, Pikes, Macedonian, those from Pergamon and whatnot. But so we're going to be able to go toe to toe with the Spartans to some extent, essentially matching hoplite ability with theirs. So we're going to try and rally up here as best we can. We'll go and unite and then push in one, well, cohesive push. They do have an interesting high ground advantage. Now, they do have some cavalry, which is surprising. 3 units. So, yeah, I would nearly say they have cavalry supremacy over us. We do have elephants in our general's bodyguard, but I've been quite hawkish with them throughout this series, and we've lost a lot of generals because of it. So we do have to be a little bit careful. Politically and dynastically, it's a little bit sketchy for us. We're having political problems with the other parties because essentially what happened is, I guess Bindusara died a little bit young. Ashoka has solidified his rule, but because Ashoka's lost so many sons and brothers-in-laws and, well, brothers, those with like hundreds of political influence, and essentially we've got these political parties that are sitting, these old political parties who essentially are leaders that have like, what, 200, 300, 400 influence. They have a lot of sway still back in, well, India and in this new territory, so we just have to be a little bit careful with our generals. Because if Ashoka dies, I could see this kingdom falling into essentially what happened to Alexander's, being partitioned amongst his generals. Ptolemy, Seleucus. and Bactria and whatnot. Okay, so we're going to try and move my skirmishers here. Try and get back up and around the back of this hill. And then we'll try and target their general's bodyguard. If we might get lucky. Because I don't particularly want to fight heavily trained Spartan warriors. But once Sparta is defeated, annexed, and conquered, the Greek peninsula is fully under Mauryan Empire Indian occupation. And then I guess we replenish and repair, build up, switch over the libraries and universities to Eastern, get that research rate up nice and high, and then we've got a couple of options. We can just straight up end the campaign. I can't really see us losing. Maybe you would like to see the Mauryans go up against the Romans. That could be quite interesting, but they seem to have not really progressed out of the Italian peninsula. So I don't know how particularly well their campaign is going. It just sometimes depends. Macedon has had an amazing series, to be honest. Same with Armenia and Persia. It just sometimes happens. That's the sandbox experience of Total War. Different things happen each time. Alright, so we're starting to skirmish that general's bodyguard now, which is really nice. And I might just try and open up some angles here, because we don't particularly want to be, well, blobbed up, taking missile hits, which we're bloody doing. And we're going to try and hit them in a better spot. Okay, so it's interesting. We do have skirmisher supremacy of them, so it looks like they're going to try and close the distance and move against my front line. But we've still got a couple of decisions to make. We could betray the Persians. At the moment, we're not getting trade through there. But we're just so far away. So I don't think moving these armies back would be a good idea. We do have enough Imperium just to get armies, but we just need to reshuffle our approach. I think I might keep loyal to Parthia, because them being up in the Caucasus and the Caspian Sea doesn't really bother me. And we do have a decent alliance with the Arab tribes that are focusing on Ptolemy. So I think it's really Persia. So two things we can do: betray the Persians, the Median Empire, and then maybe make plans and preparations to go against Rome. We do border now with the Illyrian pirates that have taken over Thrace, which is interesting in itself. I think they did that because they kind of got pushed out by the Romans. But because we haven't taken Ptolemy out either, we haven't bumped up against Carthage. Alright, still trying to focus on their general. They're starting to hit my front line, and those additional reinforcements have now come in, but they don't have very many men per unit. Okay, still focusing on this general unit. We've managed to make one of the cavalry units retreat. Oh, that's a venomous volley there against us. But we're still trying to target their Spartan infantry, and they just don't know what to do. We've got 4 units of skirmishers hitting them, and they are just incredibly bloodied, battled, and surrounded. They pushed out against us, I guess, to posture, and now we've caught them out in the open field. You'd think it'd only be a matter of time once he trespassed against them. Alright, so my skirmishers now are nearly depleted. Yikes.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, so let's just try and run down as many of them as we can. They're just starting to wrap around us. We've got those additional reinforcements. Alright, I'm going to move my cavalry out. It doesn't matter if we lose one of those generals. I've just been so aggressive with them. Alright. General units still holding. I can't see the Spartans winning this one. And they don't have any more stacks. So, once this is done, Greece has fallen to the Mauryan Empire. Really interesting playthrough so far. But there's still heaps of other factions we haven't played as. I haven't actually played as Nabatea. Saba actually might be cool. There's still so many DEI factions to play as. Maybe play as a proto-Arabian state might be kind of fun. Okay, jeez, that unit's doing stuff. Okay, so although those skirmishers flanked incredibly well, focused all their skirmisher power on that general unit, we still haven't crushed them. The general, that is. They're still holding. You got to give it to the brave Spartans. They are fighting to the absolute bitter end. And now I'm in a wavering. Okay, let's rally. Center's buckling. Still focusing on them. Maybe we just need to crush the army rather than the general, because they are the S tier Spartan infantry. Okay, let's rotate here. I just remember they were just so good in my Spartan campaign. I'd highly recommend that. It might be a little bit dated now. 2019, maybe 2020. That came out. The thing is, like, once you conquer Greece, you're basically loving life. The Spartan unit roster is so good. But it can be a little bit tricky going up against an eventual Athenian Macedonian coalition. Sometimes Epirus can throw a spanner into the works. And depending where Larissa lies as well on the Romans. So you do have to be a little bit careful. And then, like, you can expend all your efforts, all your manpower, all your energy focusing on uniting Greece. But even if you do win, it's going to be quite narrow. And then, oh, look who it is. It's the Romans. They tend to rock up. Alright, we've got a massive blob of units here. We've got so many unit cards there floating, but some of those units have only got like 10 men per it. So let's try and do our best there. Hit that phalanx. I reckon we're going to crush the main army before we get this general. That's probably what we're going to have to try and do. And then get the entire army just to focus on them. But here we go. Tens of thousands of Indians surrounding the Spartans. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Alright, they're about to capitulate. Yeah, look at this. We don't even have to face the general unit. Perfect. We've just done such damage already. Oh, let's continue on to get that charge. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Decisive victory against the Spartans. 600 lost in the end. 300 Spartans, more like 3,000 now. They still got crushed in the end. Decisive victory. That's what you get for marching out. Going on a walk with his personal bodyguard. It's kind of near Thermopylae, nearly. Alright, let's run that down. The Persians are coming. No, it's the Indians. Wow, wow. This time around. It's not God Emperor Xerxes, it's God Emperor Ashoka. So let's move down to Sparta. There's no wall, so we are going to be able to take it in one turn, which is nice. So what are... oh jeez. What one can push and take it in one turn? We'll try and get Ashoka down there. Is he actually better off to go navally there, which is interesting. Let's get the army from Athens. Nice. And, oh, we only need the one there to get a good order resolve. We'll definitely bring in the two just to push that one back. If we can get rid of that general's bodyguard with 300, that's pretty good. And, perfect. Now we're going to have to face the garrison. I reckon that unit actually would have done a fair amount of damage. So, that's it. She's all over Red Rover. Sparta has fallen to Mauryan Empire occupation. And that's it. Faction destroyed. We've destroyed the mighty Sparta. And now we've taken 2 pieces of territory in Hellas. We've got the statue of Zeus now under our control. And Knossos is defiant. I guess Rhodes as well. Okay. Let's make sure we replenish and repair. Oh, nice. And we've got access to the Spartan hoplites. Alright, well, unfortunately on that note, it's time to wrap things up here and potentially the series. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I always keep the saves of all of my campaigns. So, let me know if you'd like to see a war against Persia or Parthia betray our allies, or maybe against the Romans. But anyway, guys, thank you for supporting the series. Stay tuned for more Total War campaigns on the channel. My name's been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Take care.